One day I was just working out postpartum. My son is 2 years old now, and I just felt like I finally hit a place where I felt like I was finally coming back into myself. And I was like, oh my God, this is such an incredible feeling. I want other moms to be able to feel this too. My son started getting bigger. He wouldn't sit in a baby carrier anymore. And I work out regularly and would do lunges and like arm workouts with my stroller as I would walk him. And I was like, wait a second, why don't I just invite all of my mom friends on a walk? And what started out as 3 people turned into 30. It was right before Mother's Day. And I had the moms sign up for this walk. And I was like, what am I about to do with 90 moms? Like, it ended up raining. We still did it. And I think I still had 70 moms show up to this walk. And it was honestly the most memorable and like just showing of how strong and resilient moms can be. I always like to say that like even on your worst days as a mother, you are inspiring another mom because she might be having a hard day too. Becoming a mother is such a life-altering event in the most beautiful and challenging way. And just taking all of the obstacles as they come can really be everything.
So I was just telling my next guest on Rebel Roots that I was driving to work and I live on Wrightsville Beach, and there was a takeover. We have this loop that goes around the beach. It's called the Loop, and everyone goes there and they walk. And all of a sudden I see these women pushing strollers that have taken over the whole loop. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to meet the creator of this movement. And I'm so happy to have her on. And there's a whole bunch of, I was looking, you're a single mom, Pilates instructor, focused on fitness for moms. You run the Momilates Group in Wilmington, which is what took over the loop that day, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you were the sole organizer of this takeover?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Enough of that. Welcome, Brooke. I can't wait. And I said, she told me how to say your name at the very beginning. And I'm like, Brooke, I'm probably just going to let you say it at the very, because I messing everything up. So
I got you. I'm Brooke Pereira. Hi. Thank you so much. That was like such a sweet introduction. You're so kind. And I must say, yes, I am the main organizer, but if it wasn't for all of my incredible moms who continue to show up like week after week, no matter what the temperature is, then we wouldn't be here. So I would like to thank them as well. They're all so amazing and they inspire me constantly. So yeah.
And you had another one today, right?
Yeah, we just did one this morning.
You just did one this morning. And so was it bigger than the one that I saw the other day?
So actually I shifted our time. Normally it's 10 o'clock, but we did a 9 o'clock walk today just because it's getting so heated and our usual trail is still like under construction. So I kind of confused a couple of the moms. So it was a little bit smaller, but only by like 5 or 10. We usually have 30 moms on average. Like that is like the solid number. I think today we had like 25. So, still a big group and still like new and familiar faces. And it was just awesome. It was so great. It really makes my week every week.
So take me back to the beginning of this because we're sitting here talking like everyone kind of knows. And obviously I witnessed it and saw it. And I'm sure that there's going to be video in this podcast to show everyone what it is. And so tell me, how did this get going? Tell me a little backstory of you. Tell me everything. Just tell me everything.
So one day I was just working out, postpartum. My son is 2 years old now. And I just felt like I finally hit a place where I felt like I was finally coming back into myself. And I was like, oh my God, this is such an incredible feeling. I want other moms to be able to feel this too. And I was like, how do I create a space where I can help moms get there as well? And I was like group classes, but I was like, but I personally can't even get my son into the daycare. He just wants to be on me, which is like, a love-hate thing. But I was okay. So I was like, maybe something with moms and babies. And I thought of Mommy and Me Pilates. And this was back in September 2025. So like 8 months ago or so now. And I just jumped into it. I took a course. I just like kind of did it messy. That's like one thing that I feel like I really just jumped into messy. Like I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. And it was just so great to start that community. So my son started getting bigger. He wouldn't sit in a baby carrier anymore. And I work out regularly and would do lunges and like arm workouts with my stroller as I would walk him. And I was like, wait a second, why don't I just invite all of my mom friends on a walk? And what started out as 3 people turned into 30. And it has just, I do it every Thursday at 10 o'clock. I just feel like consistency and locking it into their brains that this is the same time every week has been really helpful. And it has just grown so much. And I have moms who bring like friends and Gigi's and grandmas. And, that's where we are today.
How many weeks has it been in play yet?
How many weeks? So I started the walks in November, when it was like fall and cold, like, so I was like, if I get moms out now while it's like, kind of the winter season of like, postpartum, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the spring. And so we've been over half a year now since we're in June. So
how many moms, the one I saw was like huge. So
yeah.
From 3, how many do you think? And it was probably 2 weeks ago. I think I witnessed you.
I was going to say, we've been at the Loop for 3 weeks now. So we've been at Wrightsville Beach for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you made national, or not national, but like you made a ruckus in Wrightsville. You got coverage with this, which I think is
I want it to be seen so I can find brand new moms. I can find moms who have 4 or 5-year-olds, or somebody who just can tell a mom friend, because I just feel like it has been such an uplifting and beautiful community, for just new moms. Like, it's hard if you don't go to work every day, or if you're not in like school like we used to be. It's hard to like make friends. And as a mom, you learn that it's hard to schedule with other people who may not necessarily have kids, like nap times, feeding. So this is just like a really awesome way to just meet like-minded people who are rolling through the punches just like you are. So we did a walk. So go back. We've had a really amazing community. Like, just everybody in Wilmington, like business wise, has just been so giving. And we've had really awesome businesses just like contact me and like want to gift my mom. So we normally meet at G Prime, which is a really nice steakhouse. And we walked this trail, and they really showed out. They wanted to feed all of our moms. It was right before Mother's Day. And I had 90 moms sign up for this walk. And I was like, what am I about to do with 90 moms? Like, it ended up raining. We still did it. And I think I still had 70 moms show up to this walk. And it was honestly the most memorable and like just showing of how strong and resilient moms can be. Kids did not care. They had the best time, but it was just such a fun time. So that was my biggest sign up, was 90 moms. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to handle it, but we did it. And we still walked in the rain. Afterwards, they all were fed by G Prime. So that was really sweet. We had a coffee cart out there, and then we had Set Blowout Bar gift, my mom's like a really cute gift bag with products in it. So I've had just like the best response from everybody, and it's just been such a blessing.
I love that. I was like almost getting like a little emotional about that, because that's pretty cool to have 90 moms show up to participate. And then I was thinking legally, like, would Wrightsville require a permit for that? Or are you going to have to be getting police barricades, everything up for that? So you'll probably be.
Oh my gosh, that would be funny.
Problem, right? Good problem.
I guess it's a good problem to ask. Maybe not the best thing to say. I'm going to ask for forgiveness, not permission. Always. But I'm like, we're walking a public street, and we did have last week somebody from Wrightsville Beach, he had the Wrightsville Beach logo, pull over and take a picture and say, I was telling the town about this, and we want to do like an article about you. And I was like, let's go. I'm glad you guys love this, because I don't want to get in trouble. So
no, I think I only say that because we have our Clean Eats convention at the Lumina, and we had a 5K, and we got like in some trouble but again, I was like, it's all of our owners. We're not taking payment for this or anything. So we kind of got into a thing, and where we got in trouble was we had a logo up
Oh,
for that.
okay.
It looked like a thing. So just don't put a logo anywhere, and
Yeah.
you'll be fine. It's public access, it's just an
Yeah.
organized walk for thing. But okay,
Yeah.
so tell me,
Exactly.
go back to who was Brooke? I love because my what I truly believe is that we all have a blueprint as soon as we come onto this earth, and we can find tidbits in our childhood of who we were, because I think that's our truest form sometimes is like age 3, for like where your son is current, like this is
Yeah.
where our passions, I feel like are developed. This is where our joy was true form. It's where we had the most fun in our life. So who was Brooke back in your childhood, and how did she get here?
Oh man, I feel like I'm such a different person than Brooke as a child. I come from a big family. So I think there was a lot of me that was like outspoken, and I was definitely like rambunctious and high energy. But I feel like I was also very shy. So it's kind of funny to be in this like leadership position, so I come from a family of 6 kids. I am the oldest sister. I have an older brother. So I guess I kind of like felt like I was like their little leader in a way, felt like I was supposed to guide them. I was just always active. I loved to paint. And I watched, my dad do a lot of helping and guiding people. I feel like him serving was like where he found his like joy and happiness. So at times I compare and I'm like, well, this kind of makes sense. Like I did this not from a business standpoint at first. It was out of my heart of wanting to just, if it could help one mom, then my job is done right, So I think like that kind of ties into each other. I think that's really crazy, but thinking of like shy high school Brooke who would have never taken like a step out of her comfort zone, I feel like that's pretty crazy.
You said shy, and like you don't seem shy as a play, right? And you're creating this movement. Was there something that you can like pinpoint, like this was the turning point of that?
I mean, yes. I think just wanting to personally grow along the way and being unhappy in my shoes, like, when in my 20s, like in a way, like I think I just wanted to constantly grow into a better version of myself, to my fullest version. So I do listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of mental health podcasts. My dad struggled with mental health. And I think becoming a mom and seeing what shifts that it puts on you, like mentally, physically, I just don't ever want someone to have to struggle with like motherhood when it should be a beautiful thing, and having the proper guidance could be everything. And even just having the proper like people around you. Like some people aren't so fortunate to have a village, so you're most qualified to help the person that you were before. And I definitely had a lot of postpartum anxiety. I didn't have postpartum depression, but I may have been, susceptible of that if I didn't have such an amazing like community and such great friends and family. So I just want to be able to provide that for the right person if possible.
When you say that you had the postpartum anxiety, what were like the signs? If someone's listened to this and they're like, I just don't know if I have that currently, how did you identify that?
I just feel like I was stressed out a lot, which comes with motherhood. But looking back to like, I was having a lot of intrusive thoughts. I didn't want like anybody to hold my son, like not anybody, but like it in my body felt uncomfortable for me. And like now I'm like, that's kind of a crazy, like, I don't know. It felt crazy to feel as crazy as I did about it. But I think I was just like, my nervous system was shocked. I was handling a lot. And I think that did a lot with that. So yeah, it was really just about like making sure that he was okay. And if he would cry, I would be really stressed out. But you come to a point where you're like, no, he's okay. He might be crying, but he's safe. he's fed, he's comfortable, he's just trying to express himself. Or I think him crying really shocked my system. And just having like those intrusive thoughts when you have to kind of bring yourself back to the ground. Like you have to touch some grass and be like, okay, we're okay. He's not going to fall off a bridge when you're in the middle of your own yard. Like there's no possible way, like things could happen, which sounds crazy, but that's like what happens. It's like an instant turn on switch whenever you have a baby. It's wild.
No. And I think, again, just I know you say like, this sounds crazy, but right? Like something's disruptive to sound crazy to do that. And we try to justify the crazy, right? And like how you're saying, like, this sounds crazy. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It sounds like a new mom that is learning all the new things. And no one knows what that feels like until you're at home by yourself with this life. And you're responsible for that. And that responsibility is like huge. And you can't explain that if no one has felt that before. And so, yeah, to someone who hasn't had a child, maybe that sounds crazy, but all the moms who have had a child, you sound just where you needed to be, or, you know, like you were doing everything right. So
no, that's so valid and so accurate, because you're like, that's not even a possibility, but it doesn't matter. It's like your mind just goes into protective mode. And whether it feels like there's a body of water this close to you, or if you're just like worried about being snatched up in a parking lot, you're like mentally, it's just protective mode for your baby. And it makes sense. And that's how, you know, we are in, like, animals are in the wild and stuff, but we can just express it and we can just identify it a little bit more. So once you're out of those newborn and like those newborn trenches, it's like identifiable. So
what was the biggest thing in motherhood that you think that you've learned? I mean, obviously he's still little and there's more to come with life lessons, but what do you think's been the most valuable advice or something that you've heard that you're like, this made a difference for me?
Resting in that things are going to be different and that things will not go according to plan, and like just not stressing out that it's not going to plan. I think you can be a type A or a type B person. Doesn't matter if you have intentions to do something and it doesn't go your way because of, you know, your baby. Kind of just resting in whatever comes and knowing that it's just a season, knowing it's so temporary. It could be so different next week, and just like trying to take a learning lesson from it and grow with it as your child grows. Becoming a mother is such a life-altering like event in the most beautiful and challenging way. And just taking all of the obstacles as they come can really be everything.
I love that. That's so good. I want to kind of go back to something that you said earlier too, because you said, what was your exact words? You didn't wing it. You were chaos. What word did you just use? You said messy. Yeah. You're like, I knew it was going to be messy.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been dealing with a lot lately with women asking me, they're like, I just got asked this question, like, what made you like take that first step? And I was like, messy to me sounds just like how I do my stuff too. It's like, I always refer mine as like, I jumped off the airplane and I don't know how I'm going to get that parachute that I forgot on the back. You know, like someone brings me the parachute. So I always feel like I jump before I think, because I feel like, and I'm assuming messy is about the same for you. Maybe like I didn't know how I was going to do this, but I was just going to get it done. And that's like a very strong characteristic for someone to have. And it sounds maybe minute, like you're shaking your head and you're kind of blowing that off. But there's a lot of women out there who have been thinking maybe about something, and it's been 5, 10, 15 years and they haven't done the messy part yet. So what do you think? Tell me the thought process on the messy. Why did you just do the messy and not make a business plan for this?
Not make a business plan. Because I've done it so many times where I've tried to be perfect. perfection is just delay. We can all try to be perfect. And if you just sit in that like place of where, oh, I'm going to prepare and never actually take action, then it's never going to happen. There are so many people out there, I'm sure you've heard this before, that are less qualified doing what you want to do and they're actually succeeding at it, but you haven't taken that first step. So therefore you will never, have the opportunity to even get there. I started messy because I didn't know much about it, but knowing that confidence comes with consistency and from experience. So I just tried to leap into that, like knowing that I wanted to start this with the intentions to pull a mother out of the trenches or just be a little bit more active. And it didn't matter how it was going to look. I probably knew more than any mom that attends the class just because I learned a little bit, and they're not going to look at me like, oh, she knows nothing because I'm up at the front trying my hardest. I think being a mom makes you really vulnerable to a lot. And I just have a whole different respect for moms now. And if a mom was trying hard at something, there's no way I'm going to tear her down. So I just hoped and prayed that my moms would do the same if they came to a class and I said left instead of right or something like that. But I didn't know if anybody would show up for my classes. I just hoped posting about it would do something and, somebody would be like, me too, I would love to join this. So if you ever want to do something, if it's ever something that's called to you more than once and you just have it, coming from the heart, then I highly suggest you just take that first step and really lay into it, really just kickstart it, because that's where your momentum is going to come from. That's where your confidence is going to come from. And I just think you won't regret it. Even if you fail, that is the best advice and knowledge that you can get from something. Failure is information. And just because you fail once doesn't mean you're going to continue to fail, but at least you know where to go from that, first little hiccup. So
I love that. Failure is information. And I do think that there is such a pressure for everybody to be perfect because of the social media, because everything gets documented and everything. It's so easy to be a keyboard warrior, to make the comments down below to hurt people's feelings. And now they have the anonymous, icons that you can go on group Facebook groups, and no one even knows who's even commenting, and you can just say whatever you want. And that, my thing is kind of like you said, there's always someone's dream that is behind this, right? And why tear everyone down? Why wouldn't we encourage someone and do all that? But back to the pressure of being perfect. I think the biggest lesson for most people is that that is information of how to do it next time, how to make it better. Because what works maybe for this walk with 40 people is not going to work for your walk with 200 moms, And so you're going to have a couple of things along the way that it's going to prepare you for that, right?
Yes. Yeah. And exactly. And I think consistency is key as well. Obviously in every business, it's not going to be once a week thing, but even just being consistent with yourself and putting in the work consistently will be a huge building block. And just keep pushing, brick by brick, layer by layer. You'll eventually get to a place where you feel confident and things are working out. And I have it written on my wall. It's the harder I work, the luckier I get. And I think it's just all blessings at the same time, because since I started this, it's just worked out so perfectly. And I am so uplifted and fulfilled just seeing my moms every week. And I just know that I'm in the right place, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for being a mom. So like I said earlier, as a new mom, having other moms around me and just having that support has been everything. So
I agree.
It keeps the fear away.
No, and it is when you find your tribe, right? And they're there for you. And that's it's amazing when you find that. Tell me one of your success stories with your mom and from taking your classes.
First one that comes to mind is, so I also do Mommy Me Pilates. I had a new mom in one of my classes, and I think it was her first class. Her son was like 6 months old. She came and asked me, am I okay to be pregnant and do this? And I was like, girl, you're amazing. You're pregnant with a 6 month old. Fast forward to like a few weeks ago, she's almost full term. Her baby is breech, and she comes back to one of my classes and tells me that her baby has flipped. And she was like, I highly think it's because of your classes. And I was just like, I'm so happy, because when your baby is breech, it makes labor a lot harder, and being able to have your baby flip through, just movement and motion and just exercise is such a good feeling to know that that's why it happened. And she didn't work out with her first babies, and she's like, I just feel so much better this time around. And she consistently came to my classes, and that was really honestly so beautiful to hear. I was so happy that she was more comfortable as well. So
it still surprises me that there is naysayers that say you should not work out.
Yeah.
I was just kind of reading something the other day about, I was like, are we over this? Do you hear that?
I don't hear it as much as I feel like I was hearing it when I was even pregnant. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of swapped a little bit, especially now that there's a whole mommy and me movement. I feel like it's definitely gotten women a little bit more active. I was very active when I was pregnant. I think the hardest challenge was breathing. But I love to say that it really helped out my personal labor. I had a unicorn labor, and my son was very kind to me. So, but I also think it was because I worked out. So I hope that moms know it's okay to move, be comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, then there's lots of support for that. But I think it's so empowering and so helpful, even just postpartum, freshly postpartum. It's so good to just be out and walking and lifting, because you're lifting. They tell you not to lift anything over 5 pounds or something. Your baby is at least 6 usually. So plus the car seat, plus the stroller, diaper bag. I think it's very beneficial.
I agree.
Just doing it properly is everything as well.
So back to the Mommy Me classes, kind of walk me through this. If I'm walking in, what do I expect to take one of your classes?
So chaos, but beautiful, chaos.
Got it.
I now work at a studio in Carolina Beach where I host most of my Mommy Me classes. I still do pop-ups at venues and stuff. It's really great. It's an enclosed room, and we've actually transitioned more into a lot of toddlers. So I bring my son, he's 2, he's a boy, so he is naturally just full of energy. And we have kids running around everywhere. Some are just lying because they're still, not mobile, they're babies. We have moms with babies in carriers. We have moms with their babies that are just napping. And I'm instructing, my son's kind of climbing on me or playing with the other kids. It's just really been the most fun. So we have a 45-minute class where we get to listen to regular music, not nursery rhymes. So that's really also a plus. And we get some decent movement in, it's all postpartum friendly. I do have some moms who come in pregnant, which is also welcomed. And it is just, we get a really great workout in, and we get to be around moms and babies, and the babies are usually conked out after that. So it's really a very inclusive activity. And I always like to say, if your baby's crying, if you need to feed them, all right here on the floor, there's no need to leave. We're all moms here. We're all in this same or different season, but we've been through it. So we all understand. And it feels good to not be the only person in a room when your baby's crying or having a tantrum, and having that support around you. And I always like to say that even on your worst days, as a mother, you are inspiring another mom, because she might be having a hard day too, but seeing somebody go through a full on tantrum and handle it, or be teaching the class still as your child is crying, I hope that it inspires somebody else. They're like, well, she's doing it, I can do this. Or this isn't nearly as bad as, what she's going through right now. Or, so I like to end my class with that.
I love that. So what's next? You started this movement. Do you have an idea of where you want to take over with strollers? You do. Oh, you're shaking. Okay.
Yeah, I have a few things. Like I've always wanted it to be accessible, it's for all moms. So I've started drawing up manuals for how to start your own stroller walks and how to start your own mommy and me classes, because I've learned a lot along the way, and just from experience and just like picking up what I've, been able to learn through my failures and, just like the wins. I've written it all down. So having that option for moms in different cities, or even just in my city and just different sides of town, I just do one day, but I would love for it to be a weekend or throughout the week, like thing for moms. I would love that. I just, have, other things going on as well. So I just committed to one day, for the walks. And I've also started online postpartum coaching through like Pilates and strength training. So just truly making it an option for everybody. Because I think at the end of the day, as a mom, if you asked a mom, what's keeping you from working out? What's keeping you from getting outside, or, time? Are we all not like feeling like we just don't have the time? So creating the options and just making sure that it caters to each individual mom is my goal for postpartum coaching.
Love that. I love that you've taken something and have from, just being a mom and having and seeing problems and making all these solutions. I mean, not only did you start creating classes, now you're creating the coaching and the movement and all that. So if a mom is listening to this right now and they're like, you know what, I want to start this walk in my community, who would make the best mom to start this movement in their city?
Any mom who is open to directing, any mom who wants to change another mom's life or just day. I was just a regular mom, and I think having 4 people and then going to 30 was a nice little, ease into it. But just truthfully, if you have a want or a desire to do it, then I say go for it. I think it's more, amazing than you think it could be. And it could be more amazing than I didn't expect this. I also didn't start this thinking about doing a walk or anything. You never know what it can blossom into. So I would say any mom who goes on a walk anyway with friends, or would like to make friends and make a movement in their own community.
Well, I picture live feeds from all the cities at the same time with moms and strollers just taking over every sidewalk across. It'll be like the movement.
We're gonna do that. That's a great idea. Just a live stream. All right, Thursday at 10 o'clock, everyone, Facebook Live. Chicago, California, North Carolina. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. So what about you? What's the future, Brooke? Do you have plans? Are you a planner? Do you have a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year?
I'm a planner. I'm a goal setter for sure. It's, me and my son right now, and I've just been so invested in this, and just I've been having the best time with my girlfriends and my moms and stuff. I would love to, maybe these sound simple, but buy a house and just be a little bit more planted and just feel comfortable in our own home. I love my home, but we rent, and this is where Banner was born. So, I would love to own a house with him. I would love to just keep this growing and coaching moms and having just this big built community of support for everybody, and eventually move. But I love Wilmington so much. I don't think I'll ever leave it permanently ever. But yeah, I think that's really truthfully how I see myself, and just having, I hope, a positive influence on anybody who is starting off in motherhood.
I love that. All right. So where can they find you, Brooke, one more time? So if they want to join your walk or join your class or join your coaching how can they get a hold of you?
Right now, Instagram is the best way. The Momilates Group, so like Mom Pilates, it's Momilates on Instagram, or my personal page, which is where I do my coaching, is Brooke P. So yeah, those are my top two spots. I have all the links and accesses through there. And hopefully through a viral video from one of my next walks, maybe. You said national. I'm like, I could do national news. That sounds nice, with a bunch of moms, mom con or something.
I tell you, you'll be the mom talk of Wilmington. Do we have one of those yet?
I don't think we do. We should make one. That would be funny.
Or maybe you start your own talk, stroller talk or something.
Stroller talk. Yeah, there we go.
All right. And anybody can just show up, right? Do they have to sign up somewhere?
I have a sign up link on Sweat Pals, but it's not required. I just do it to have an idea. So I'm not expecting 15 moms and I get 90 moms one day. I would be so happy, but I bring weights. So we use a light weight as we walk, just one arm at a time, obviously, and having a knowledge of an average of moms is helpful. So that's on Sweat Pals. That you can find. I post regularly on my the Momilates Group Instagram. That way it's super visible and you can pop on there. I do it donation based, so you don't have to pay anything, but if you would like to, it helps go towards props and stuff. So yeah, it's like I said, I want it to be accessible for everybody. So I just do it off of a donation base.
I love that. Well, look, I am so happy I got to meet you, and I think you're doing amazing, messy things. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if I hadn't been late to work one day and driving across the bridge and seeing this long line of strollers with moms and finding it. Like, again, it's just amazing what you're doing. And I know that you're going to help so many moms out there. And yeah, it's just amazing.
I love how God and the universe works. You being late to work one day and, just connected us. So I'm so grateful that we made this connection and that I got to be here. I love chatting with other business owners, and I know you already do great things and stuff. So I feel honored. I'm so honored to be here.
Love it.